Welcome to the BumbleKast. I am your host, Ian Fang, the Bumble King of Vampires. And joining me as always is my Bumble Corpse, Kyle JCRB Cadaver.
Glad I can be dead.
No, Kyle, back that up. No.
Hey, you're the one who said I was a corpse and a cadaver.
Yeah, but in like the zombie jamboree sort of way. I don't know.
Now Ian's the vampire.
Halloween was a mistake.
Hey, I didn't make it.
No, but it is the BumbleKast, and we make mistakes all the time as we answer our questions that come from our patrons over at patreon.com/BumbleKast, Ko-fi.com/BumbleKast, and our YouTube members. Let's please just try to salvage this before the month is out.
All right, fine. We'll get through some of these thematically appropriate questions for the holiday, and hopefully we're releasing this on time and not too late. We're recording this at like the last minute almost, so let's not waste any more time and start off with this one from Allison S. Today, October 4th, is my 30th birthday. What's the best part of being in your 30s? Well, that goes to show just how far we are behind it sometimes. Sorry, Allison.
Well, first off, happy birthday. Hope you had a good one. Hope you're enjoying your 30s. I had a bit of an existential crisis when I hit 30, because it's like, this is adulthood. Like there's no pretending, oh, I'm still young. No, it's 30. And I know every one of you who is like me now and who is 40 going, shut up. 30 is still young. And I know it is. It absolutely is. And it took me until my 40s to realize that. But I was still kind of waiting for that moment where adulthood clicked. You know, when you became an adult, when you understood being an adult, when you started adulting. And it really started to sink in. That doesn't happen.
It's not a thing. No.
There is no magical flip of the switch. You don't, evolve into your next form with enough rare candies. Adults are just kids who are old. We have no idea what we're doing. Kids, if you're looking to your elders for guidance, we're just as lost as you are. We just fake it better because we've had more experience.
Yeah. Kids don't wish to be an adult. Because you'll be in the same position you're in now. Your back will just hurt more often.
Yeah. So, and there's a million things I wish I could go back and do over, but is that not just everyone's life story?
Yeah.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda. But
the question is, what's the best part of being in your 30s, though, to be fair?
Once I got over that initial, oh God, and settled into the idea of, well, I am now. There was a certain assurance and comfort that came with it. It's no longer, oh, you're that young adult that still doesn't know what he's doing and everyone kind of treats you like a kid still. It's, no, you're a grown-ass man.
Yeah, pretty much.
You can pay your taxes and drive a car and nobody's going to give you a funny look.
Oh, man.
So I guess there was a degree of comfort in this. Like, yes, I am man now. Have been for a while. But now, yes, for sure.
Yes.
I can get into the role now. I've appropriately dressed for the occasion in this walking meat suit that I am.
I'm being told cheaper car rentals
and cheaper car insurance.
Cheaper car insurance.
Yeah.
Things get cheaper slightly, somewhat, sorta, depending on your age. So maybe that's nice. No, you can do whatever you want, I suppose. I don't know. It's all right. Anyway, let's go ahead and move on to this one from Ava Arctic. If I remember correctly, in an older episode, you mentioned that the editor wanted to do a follow-up to the original Freedom Fighter story way back in issue 142 of Archie Sonic. Apparently, there was enough fan mail and demand to bring them back, even way back then. Though the story never got followed up on, can you give ideas on what you would have done for it?
From what I remember, it wasn't the team, really. It was just Tig Stripe.
Yeah.
For some reason, there were a lot of kids who liked Tig Stripe, and they sent in fan art, and we were all kind of confused. But the editor at the time, I believe that was Mike Pellerito, was like, hey, give the people what they want. Let's brainstorm ideas. I don't think we came up with anything because there was so little to work with. And the temporary infatuation died down and we never went through with it. So there were no plans or anything. It was just kind of like, hey, should we do this? I don't want to, but maybe. Never mind. All right.
I don't know, man. Kids love big cats, I guess, is the lesson we learned there, but I don't know.
I mean, tigers are cool. I can't argue with that.
Yeah, he's pretty neat. All right, here's one from Axis. In the spirit of holiday, I wanted to ask, how would Blaze react after seeing Sonic transform into the werehog for the very first time? This is assuming Blaze doesn't know about the werehog at all, and Sonic just transformed in front of her all of a sudden in the creepiest, most horrible way. What would Blaze first do? Also, once Sonic explains things to her and they calm down, how would she like Sonic's bigger and fluffier form?
I think the key to all this is her seeing it happen.
Yeah.
Because if she was out on a moonlit stroll and then that thing came around the corner, you would smell lots of burnt hair real fast.
Yeah.
Hey, boys! Woof! Gone.
Uh-huh.
Sonic the Bonfire. But if she's there seeing it happen, I think she would still be on edge. You know, fireball ready to go, but still wary, like, Sonic, how you doing? What's this? And Sonic gives a little stretch, Armstrong stretch, and goes, so I have a condition. And don't worry, it's not contagious. I'm just kind of this in the nighttime. And she's like, oh, well, that's very weird, but it's also you, so okay. And then they calm down.
Yeah, it's like, crap happens to Sonic all the time. But
yeah, it's like, if anybody's going to turn into a hairy Muppet monster, it's going to be Sonic.
Yeah, probably. Really. You know, he gets himself tied up in all sorts of weird, crazy stuff. Blaze has seen weirder.
As for how she would like it, I think she would prefer Sonic in the way that she is more familiar with. I think she's comfortable with things she's familiar with, but and she's not going to begrudge him a transformation. It's not like he can control it.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe the fluff is kind of nice. You don't know.
I would imagine it's very wiry.
Yeah, true. All right, here's one from Brain Shark. It's spooky season. I think it's time for something for the folks watching, Ian. Can you scream like you just got asked another crack ship question?
Well, we're recording this at a kind of late hour, and I really don't want to do that to my neighbors. They've been dealing with some stuff that I don't want to get into here. So out of respect to them and those listening at home and the quality of the mic, I will instead substitute the Sideshow Bob grumble for your listening pleasure.
All right. And we got a question here from Camo. There's been a lot of speculation that Sega is trying to pacify Amy's traits to make her more palpable. While that may be overblown, can you clarify this, alongside why the tarot cards have become a part of her personality lately?
They're not a part of her personality?
No, they're just a thing she uses more often. You know, bringing back old things like you've had. Like it's bringing back something that's been like just kind of forgotten for a long time. So
yeah, but it's more of a gimmick. It's not really a personality trait. It's not like Tails holds a wrench and you're like, oh, he's so wrench-like. That's not a personality trait. It's a tool. It's an object.
Don't call Tails a tool. How dare you, sir?
Now, this is a little different to like Big, where fishing is his entire world, but that's Big. He's a special boy. I'm nitpicking here on word choice, but words have meaning, so let's be accurate here.
Yeah.
Sega has taken in the feedback over the years on Amy's portrayal and where they want her to go in the future, and giving her some more depth and breadth beyond, gee golly gosh, I want my unrequited love to even look in my direction, is still there, but it is not the single note we hit every single time she's out there. She has other wants and needs and desires and whatnot.
Yeah. God forbid women have hobbies. Thank you, chat. Hobbies that don't revolve around Sonic the freaking Hedgehog. Jeez, I don't have to think about him all the time.
I mean, that hasn't changed. He is still number one in her life. She still cares about him more than anything else in the world.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have to be this one thing she says every time we encounter her.
No. Chaos Sonic 1 has a question. Sonic Speed Sim is doing a crossover officially with TMNT Battle Sim, which is based on TMNT Mutant Mayhem. What would a TMNT crossover with Sonic be like?
I know we've done this one in the past.
We have, yeah. I was thinking of like the Mutant Mayhem, which I'm not familiar with.
Yeah, I haven't caught up on that one in particular, although it does look fun. And really, the answer to this question every time is it depends on which version of the Turtles we're going with.
Yeah.
Like, is it kind of a universal one? Is it a particular era? That would impact it a little bit. All I know is I desperately need Sonic and Mikey to just bro out and make a chili dog pizza. Everything else is inconsequential.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. And we get this one from Chunka. I'm curious, after the events of Frontiers, does Sonic view the Chow any differently? I mean, if I found out my pet dog used to be an alien that surpassed the intelligence of humans, I would feel a little disturbed.
Except your pet dog never would have.
No.
Let me put it in this context. Do you look at a seagull and see something different because you know it's descended from dinosaurs? Are you filled with dread that this thing will come for you like a Tyrannosaurus, even though all it's going to do is steal your French fries?
I mean, seagulls are pretty terrifying, to be fair.
They can be, yes, but in a different way.
They're not going to eat you whole like a T-Rex will, I suppose.
No. Well, I mean, I've seen them eat a rabbit. That's kind of disgusting.
Well,
all right, maybe that's not the best analogy. Or like if you're at the zoo and you're looking at the chimpanzee exhibit, you go, yes, clearly that's the exact same as a people. It's not. We share common ancestors, to be sure. We are descended from a long off line, but we are not the same thing. Chow are not ancients. They are a species that arose tens of thousands of years down the line. They are not mutated ancients. They are their own thing. Just as we are not Australopithecus, we are not Neanderthals. We are humans.
Speak for yourself.
At least I was the last time I checked, all right? You need my human credentials?
No, I'm talking about myself. Or anybody else, really.
Like, if you're trying to hide the fact that you're a hyper-intelligent wolf man, you're doing a terrible job of it. But
thank you.
That's why you edited the episodes to hide all of your tells.
I'm glad you've noticed. All right, we got one from Hawkfire360. This one's sponsored by Crab. In a timeline where Maria has been able to get consistent treatment and not bullets, would she grow up to the level of hamminess as the rest of her family? I don't know if I can see her as an evil mad scientist, but maybe she'd still have that level of passion, like exactly the same amount of maniacal laughter as her cousin. But her lab work is like discovering cures for childhood illness. She is still from a family of scientists.
I imagine it would be similar, but with a different delivery.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, she's going to figure out the cure for all diseases, but it's going to come at you with this, like, triple-armed mecha that's just firing healing lasers. It's one of the sleekest, coolest-looking things in the world, and she's just so happy to look at her heal Zord! And you're like, that's a little intimidating, but also your grandfather built a giant face with a nose laser, so it tracks.
Yeah. You're saying Maria could have been something of a scientist herself.
Now I'm imagining her flying around on like a goblin glider, just throwing presents at people.
She's going to shoot.
My birthday! Everyone gets to celebrate. You get something. You get something. You get something. Why is this strange flying girl throwing presents? Oh, wow, this is expensive. Thank you, Maria.
She is going to shoot healing into you. You are going to be shot with healing lasers.
I mean, the heal cannon is the thing.
Shadow sees nothing wrong with this. Yes.
She's just going to refine it into like a Gundam.
Yes.
That she will gleefully pilot around the world. So we have incoming. What is she going to do? Heal us all. No.
It's like superhero archers having a healing arrow. It's hilarious. Oh, man.
Sitting there with a dramatic flash across her glasses. Total world saturation.
Yeah.
With what? Healing juices.
Maria's just the TF2 medic. Yeah. There we go.
Come on, Shadow. Let's go practice medicine. I'm not sure why you made it sound that threatening. Well, so you'd come along. Fair enough.
Yeah. She knows what he likes. All right, Crispy Midget 69 has a question. I don't know what the deal with that name is, but whatever.
It's memorable.
Yeah. How would a fight between Whisper and Breakman, or Blues, with the Mega Man 3 powers go? Mainly Hard Knuckle, Gemini Laser, and Top Spin.
Oh, God, that'd be pretty.
Yeah, let Adam draw that.
I think the coolest thing would be him using the shield to deflect the various Wisp-on firing.
Mm-hmm.
And then, he goes on the offensive, and she has to use them for mobility, not just offense.
Yeah.
It'd be just like a constant running, gunning battle.
Jumping out of the way, trying to move. Yeah, it would be sick. It would be crazy.
And you know what? We're going to fudge the rules just a little bit and say that he can, copy Wisp-on power on the fly.
Oh.
And that way you've got Whisper, vaulting off of, no, wait, Topspin isn't throwing the
top spin
but
is...
Hard Knuckle is launching that, big old
launching
arm.
the fist, yes.
So she can, vault off of that, but he recalls Cyan Laser to kind of shoot her out of the air, but she has to use Hover to zip out of the way. And he uses Topspin to chase her down, but then she launches Pink Spike at him, so he drops into a slide and hides under the shield. And, oh my God, where is my budget?
Get
the Dark Beginnings crew on this. I just need 10 minutes of this straight. No story, just fight-o.
Yeah. No, Top Spin is just him spinning around, which is pretty sweet, but pretty funny also,
Could it deflect stuff?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay. It's been a while. I'm a little rusty on my Mega lore.
I believe it could, yes.
I mean, I don't think he normally has the copy chip anyway. I think that was...
No, he doesn't normally, but...
Okay.
No, not normally, but, this is just a cool rule of cool fight.
Yeah, I mean, we're already fudging with him taking the Wisp power, so yeah, all right.
Yeah, why not? All right, Daventhal has a question. I know it's been nearly 20 years, but I'm just now realizing I may have misinterpreted the true ending for Shadow 2005. Did he actually succeed in getting his memories back? I assume he didn't. I thought the goodbye forever line and tossing away the photo meant that he had opted to simply stop worrying about uncovering his past, and instead focus on moving forward and doing what he feels is right. But Dark Beginnings Part 3 seems to imply that he does remember everything about his time with Maria.
I think it's open to interpretation. I took it more that he was just walking away from his past and accepting his destiny on his own terms. Not to be ruled by Black Doom or Maria's wishes or his identity, whether it was real or false. Just this is who he is right now, and that's what he's going to work with moving forward. But your interpretation isn't invalid either, and a lot of other people have seen it as in different ways. Likewise, he remembers some things, but just because we see what individual things he remembers doesn't necessarily mean that's everything. We don't see a full catalog of all that he remembers. He hasn't said one way or the other.
Yeah.
And to further muddy the waters, a lot of what he experienced in the beginning of Dark Beginnings was Black Doom's psychic meddling. So how much is that Black Doom messing with him? How much is that is him actually remembering authentically? We don't know. It's kind of a crazy psychic attack nightmare thingy. So he remembers some, if not all, and he is what he is.
Yes, he is Shadow. He is all of him, or something like that. Dragon King Scott has a question. This one's sponsored by Allison S. Cosmo from Sonic X returns. Unfortunately, it's only the head. The rest of her body is stem, leaves, and roots, and for some reason she seems to be craving oil, and when she gets it, she grows. She also grows with blood, but we'll only take it as a last resort. How big does she get? How many robots and Eggman bases does Tails demolish in his quest for more of the black gold? And at what point do Sonic and the others try to stop the now mad fox and his plant? P.S. Try saying planet-eating plant 10 times fast. I can't even say it 1 time fast.
Planet-eating plant 10 times fast. How hard is that?
Planet-eating plant. Planet-eating plant. Planet-eating plant. Planet-eating plant. Planet-eating plant. Planet-eating plant. Planet-eating plant.
Why'd you say it that many times? They just asked you to say the sentence.
I don't know.
Anyway, I'm just amused with the idea of this creepy Cosmo head bobbing around. Feed me, Prowl.
It truly is Tails' workshop of horrors.
And does the Eggman Empire really use that much oil?
I don't know.
I
as
mean, he
robots.
uses a lot of clean energy, to be honest, what with those energy cores and animals.
You need some kind of lubrication for all those metal joints.
A genius like that, he would invent frictionless metal.
Well, or either that, or I don't know, it would be synthetic oil, so it's not even real.
Yeah. I mean, he could just like drop her pot into the middle of oil ocean and she'd be good for a bit.
I guess that's true. There is a whole ocean made of oil, huh? Silly.
And where was the one in Sonic 4? What was that called?
I don't know.
Something, was it Oil Desert?
I don't remember.
I'm just saying, Tails would be able to sufficiently supply her with nutritious oil without having to really get on the bad side of Eggman or, by extension, Gun.
Yeah, true.
Which is not the fun answer you want. You want her to become some kind of horrible biological, Biolante Cosmos style.
Yeah, come on.
I think it would get to the point where Sonic's like, buddy,
Cosmo.
I know you really care for her, but you need to back off on this. Sonic, I don't know what you're talking about. Dude, look at me, Tails, look at me in the eye, buddy. She's knocking helicopters out of the sky. I got the 7 Chaos Emeralds. We're about to have a Crush 40 track. We need to intervene.
We need to put Cosmo 2 down.
And that's when Tails takes a deep breath and calmly looks Sonic in the eye and smiles and says, she can eat blood too.
Uh-oh. I'm glad Sonic breaks the fourth wall there and says there's going to be a Crush 40 track.
Oh, no, the band's actually there. They exist in Sonic's world.
Oh, good, as they should. I mean, yeah.
And they just happen to be around whenever a big super fight happens.
Good. Canonically. Good, perfect.
Yeah.
Of course. They're always just off screen.
Mm-hmm.
You never see them. Anyway, question from Emily. In Sonic Adventure for the Sega Dreamcast, Knuckles finds and subsequently uses a monkey destruction switch to get rid of the Kikis guarding Red Mountain. My question is, does he still keep the monkey destruction switch, or has it been sadly lost to the sands of time?
I don't think he would retain it. He's not really a techie guy. And that includes transportable, highly specific monkey destruction switches.
So what you're saying is that he gave it to Tails?
Yes.
Okay.
And really, let's be honest here. If he could just punch the monkey, he would much prefer that.
Punch the monkey, shock the monkey, whatever. All right, here's one from Earth the. I've been playing Sonic Rivals, the Knuckles story, and some weird plot caught my eye. Eggman says he turned the Master Emerald into a card by taking a picture of it from the future? He then goes on to say that the Master Emerald is an object that exists throughout the time-space continuum, and says when he turned it into a card, it vanished from all time frames. Is this still canon? How did Tikal feel when the Master Emerald vanished all of a sudden?
Yeah, that's a weird one.
Plot hole!
And on top of that, it's not even Eggman. It's Eggman Nega using a future camera that is from another dimension, ? I'd have to look again.
Spoiler alert. And also, he could be lying. You never know.
I'm pretty sure it's him. Anyway.
It is Eggman Nega, yes, but I'm saying he could be lying about it. All the Master Emerald disappearing from all time frames. Yeah.
I don't think so, though. But the best I can rationalize this one is, okay, the Master Emerald disappeared from all of its places throughout time when it was turned into a photo. And then they put it back, and therefore it is back to every place it ever was across the entire time span. So it effectively never left.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know if you can hear the expression I'm making with my face, but
yeah. Okay. Sure.
Look, I defend the Rivals games, but
Yeah, no. Having played Rivals 1, it's like, no. We can chalk that up to nah. All right, we got a question from Exadel. If the Bumble Mods character avatars or Sonas are all Zeddy or Zeddy adjacent, would that make them the Bumbly 6?
That are the deadly mods.
Oh boy. They're not deadly.
Whichever they prefer.
Yet. I mean, some of them want to be.
The steadfastly mods? I don't know. That doesn't have the same ring.
The Modly 6? No. The better Deadly Six. Big oof. And a question from Hearts13. In one of the rebooted alternate realities, once known as Moebius, Dr. Kintobor awakens in the new timeline with distorted memories when he's found by Anti-Axel the Buffalo and his branch of Kintobor's Alliance. Big takeaway is Kintobor has followers now. What does he do with his new organization, and do the anti-egg bosses, except Anti-Thunderbolt, legitimately like Dr. K?
Yeah. It's anti-Mobius, so I don't want to make it too wholesome.
Yeah.
So maybe it is kind of still a cult of personality, but it's well-meaning. And Kintobor doesn't really like all the attention. He doesn't like having servants. That's an uncomfortable term, but they want to do good in the world, and if they need guidance, well, the least he can do is point them in the right direction. And they just go out and do good in the world, rebuild infrastructure and clean up pollution and protect people that are being attacked, except everybody's kind of a jerk in this world, so they're attacking each other willy-nilly, but they're at least trying to de-escalate, I guess. And I guess Anti-Thunderbolt really just hates how passive he is about this. He should seize control. She doesn't understand why everyone rallies around him, but she'll stick with it because at least they're doing something.
Okay.
Or maybe that she doesn't need a full 180. Maybe she does still absolutely adore Kintobor, and she's just a little too
Yeah.
militaristic with her peacekeeping. Doctor, I beat all these people up. But why? They were being mean. So you were mean back.
Well, they deserved it.
In a manner of speaking. I did it for you! All right, Thunderbolt, time to go to your timeout chair.
Yeah. All right, Hero Squad has a question. Boom, baby. Time for double boom shakalak and sonic boom plots. In today's episode, the A plot surrounds the so-called flames of disaster. Meanwhile, the B plot is Vector going to the dentist, where Sor is the dentist, with co-help from Knuckles. How does it go, and how do they both connect at the end?
All right, so the A plot is Eggman finds what he thinks is some tattered parchment talking about the flames of disaster.
Mm-hmm.
And he's searching all over the island to unearth this ancient power that he will harness to rule the world. And it's really just a flyer for the new hot sandwich at Madburger.
Yeah.
Vector is greatly disturbed that Sor the Eagle is a dentist because, number one, he's a TV personality. And number two, what do birds know about having teeth? And now I can't remember if Sor's model actually had teeth. Which, if he doesn't, that still keeps the joke. And if he does, that raises even more questions and thus more joke.
Well, yeah, exactly. So I think it's fine either way. Some birds have teeth anyway. But...
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And he's extremely nervous that Sor seems to be one of those crazy doctors. But they can't get anywhere because Knuckles is supposed to assist, but he can't put any of the hygienic gloves on. They just keep bursting around his hands and tearing on his knuckles. So Sora's like, attendant, I need the laughy gas. All right, boss. Whoops. Need to put on another pair of gloves. Whoops. Sorry. Whoops. Here, I'm going to layer them this time. Oh, now they all came off. Ultimately, Knuckles tries extremely hard to get this last undersized glove on, and his fist goes flying and pops the bad tooth out of Vector's face.
Mm-hmm.
And Vector's like, I'm cured, and he leaves. And that's when Eggman walks in because his mouth is on fire because the flames of disaster live up to their name.
Yes. It's kind of silly because Sor and Knuckles have the same voice actor in that show, and they don't sound all that different. So it's funny to have them both in the same scene together. Yep, Travis Willingham is talking to himself again.
Anybody ever tell you guys you sound the same? Huh. I guess they didn't think that ahead before they decided to put us in the same room. Oh, well.
Exactly. All right, here's one from Jake Tylenol. I love what you did with Amy in issue 2 of IDW. Still, to me, the best issue of the series. And to be fair, I don't know if this is really on you, but I feel like every time since that issue, we go back and see Amy prior to the events of Forces, she appears to have no crush on Sonic at all. Is her crush being retconned altogether? I feel it invalidates her emotional growth in IDW and Frontiers and is disingenuous.
I don't know what to tell you. She is still gaga for Sonic. It's just not the one thing she says every single time we see her.
Yeah, yeah. She keeps it to herself a little bit more often nowadays. That's okay. Mankoi has a question. Someone points out to Blaze that the best way she can serve her people is by being the heat source for a power plant, giving her kingdom unlimited clean-burning energy. Does she solve all of her empire's energy needs at the cost of her own freedom? If not, how does she handle knowing she turned the chance down?
Wasn't this a plot of Soul Eater?
I don't know.
Although, oh shoot, what were their names now? I'm just thinking of Sonic turning into a giant scythe/hammer for Amy to wield. And that's kind of fun. Anyway, Blaze is certainly powerful, but I don't believe she has the output to power more than like a house at best. That would be very boring, just sitting in there being a furnace.
Yeah, I don't know. I think she feels like it would be a good thing to do if she could, but she's better served doing other things. Because it takes a lot of energy to boil water enough to spin a turbine. It's not that easy. So,
I think we're putting way too much serious thought into this obvious joke answer.
I know, obviously. but still.
That, therein is the joke. Ha-ha! We're ironically being serious. Uh-huh. Trick or treat, whatever.
We're underselling her power. She's really super powerful. She's more powerful than we could possibly imagine. It's probably true, but, for the sake of the question and what we've seen from her, I mean, she's certainly very capable, but it's, I don't know. Can she beat the sun? I don't know about that.
Maybe we're looking at it all wrong. Maybe she just has to do that axle spin and you put it on like a treadmill. So she's always spinning, fire propelled.
Yeah, I suppose. I suppose. No, that's silly. That's silly. What's Blaze's energy output in kilowatt hours? And if she just has to spin all the time, she's going to be just... All right, and Moreless as our last question before I take a break. Let's assume for the sake of argument that Maria came back to life at the same age she was when she died, and ended up being part of the general Sonic friend group. Would Maria join Sonic in pranking Shadow hardcore? What kind of prank would she pull on him if so?
Yes, but they have to be harmless pranks.
They have to be wholesome, friendly pranks. They can't be like, she's not going to like ruin his life. Sonic would, but she's not.
Like a kind of prank of, I didn't get you a birthday card this year. Actually, I did, tee. It's personalized.
That's barely even a prank.
No, I forgot that we were going to go out and shop together today. Actually, no, I'm here right on time. Got you.
Would she try to talk down Sonic from the more meaner pranks?
Yes. She might find them funny at first. That kind of... Okay, no. We can't do that.
We can't do that to him. No, don't do that.
That would be very funny, but he's sensitive, so no. We need to be mindful of his feelings. And Sonic's like, that is hilarious, but I respect you too much to argue.
I respect you too much to argue, but I don't respect Shadow that much. Oh, well. On that wholesome note, I think it's time we take a quick break, and then we'll come back with more on the BumbleKast.
We're back, and we're starting off with our weekly giveaway question. Follow us on our Twitter, our Blue Sky, our Tumblr, or Facebook to have a chance to get your question answered for free on the show. This week's winner is...
Bazoo! Bazoo! Bazoo? Bizoo?
Bazoo!
How do you characterize Metal Knuckles in your mind? Is it just Metal Sonic with a different body and skill set? Does it have its own characteristics? Maybe their behavior is directly based on Knuckles himself, and we're yet to see that in action. Hopefully. What do you think?
Personal headcanon, because this is not approved anywhere. But I think it should be simple and straightforward like Metal Sonic. Metal Sonic wants to be the one true Sonic, and is fast and efficient and powerful as a reflection.
Yes.
Therefore, Metal Knuckles would want to be, I don't know if I want to go the full, one true Knuckles again. That feels a little bit like beating the same drum too much. But he would still want to be the unrivaled strongest. the best battler there is. And Knuckles is, top tier. So if he wants to be the best out there, he has to beat Knuckles. And Knuckles is not going to hand over that title without a fight. And then you get that cool fight, gimme.
He wants to be the very best, like Knuckles ever was. And here's a question from Noni. Hey, since nothing to the contrary has been proven, it's completely possible for the Like a Dragon series to be happening in the Sonic world. So, Abraham Tower versus Kazuma Kiryu. Who wins?
Now
Kazuma.
I really, really want to see
Kazuma Kiryu.
A reskin of Kazuma just as Abe Tower.
Now I just want to see
inches hitting people with bicycles.
Now I just want to see a Yakuza Sonic crossover, which I've wanted to see for a long time. I don't know. Well, I do know why that hasn't happened. They're not really appropriate. They don't fit directly, but I don't care.
And, Abe wants world stability and lawfulness, so sure, he'll fight the Yakuza until he finds out that Kazuma is the only one keeping these streets neat and orderly.
Yeah.
And, Abe kind of got in trouble the last time he deployed any of the machinery in a civilian sector, so fine. He's going to get those white gloves dirty himself.
Yeah.
And then it's just the two of them beating up people on the street with that same stone face the entire time. I need it.
Yeah. That's funny to think about. I'm trying to imagine a crossover with Sonic and Yakuza. There's enough goofiness in both. I think it would work. I'd figure it out. Here's one from Nothing Rhymes with Orange. Forget DC. What Sonic characters would you cast as the Avengers?
Oh, I don't know. Are we allowed to use Quicksilver for Sonic, or is he still in mutant purgatory?
I mean, I'd assume he's fine. Is there any other speedster? There's multiple speed.
Immediately springs to mind.
Sonic is the Wizard. Otherwise, Sonic is Spider-Man. Just lean into the similarities.
Maybe.
I guess.
Tails is Iron Man. That's kind of a given.
Yeah. He doesn't have the personality of Iron Man. But
he doesn't, no. But he is kind of the gearhead. And I don't know, maybe Tony gives him some bad ideas.
True, yeah.
That and you need the Chaos Emerald shaped arc reactor on his chest. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
While I want to say duty bound martial artist, kind of on his own, man out of time, Knuckles is Captain America.
Mm-hmm.
I think we all know that they'd put him with Hulk because Knuckles smash.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
I'm not a big fan of that, but I mean, Knuckles was green that one time.
Moving on.
And the one who brought it up.
What to do with Amy?
Thor.
Oh, yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, Thor, obviously.
With the hammer, yeah.
With the hammer
right.
and the being kind of cool. But yeah, being cool.
All right, so I guess that leaves Black Widow to Rouge. That's a pretty easy fit.
Yeah, I suppose. Let's see. Whisper is Hawkeye.
Yeah.
Who are we missing? Captain America, I think.
Who is Cap? Maybe that's Abe Tower. Just really hot and out there.
Not Vector or SBO. I don't feel like that's appropriate.
Vector's already got the team leading thing.
Yeah.
Going. And, he's frugal, and that shield flies right back to him no matter what he bounces it off of. He doesn't have to worry about ammo or anything. Doesn't need to be charged up. It's really cost effective.
Yeah, we're doing this based on the movie roster, so. But I will say Tangle as Squirrel Girl is a pretty good suggestion. Not gonna lie, that's a pretty good suggestion. Blaze is the Human Torch. That's a Fantastic Four. That's not. It's a different one. Or Sally as Squirrel Girl, but that's a little too on the nose.
I'm torn because Shadow would make a pretty good Black Panther, especially early in the movie verse.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Clint. I don't care. However, imagining Big in the suit is the funniest damn thing in the world. So, not sure what I want there. No! A royal cat who's an absolute badass from an isolated nation. Blaze is Black Panther.
There you
what
go.
am I talking about?
Yeah, okay, yes. Silver's Doctor Strange.
Yeah, all right. Behold the power of economics. Whatever the thing is.
Bean is Howard the Duck.
And there we go. Big can be Thanos.
You mean he's not?
Perfectly balanced, as all things should be.
Fine, I'll do it myself.
All that for a drop of blood.
Sticks is Deadpool. I mean, kinda.
Maybe. I mean, uses the weaponry, sees things from a very different perspective.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I know we've talked about this before, but yeah, it's always fun to come up with these ideas.
Where have your failures all led you? Back to me. Snaps his fingers and half the universe is now Froggy.
What did it cost you? Froggy. Onyxodon has a question. This one might be for me if you can't answer it again.
For safety's sake, I should probably give this one to you.
Okay. With the announcement of the DC X Sonic crossover, what other character mashups that probably would never happen could you see? Surge as the Reverse Flash, Rough and Tumble as the Condiment Kings, Mephiles as the Batman Who Laughs, Ian Flynn as Darkseid. I like that one.
Flynn is
truly Darkseid. Yes. Let's see. Surge as the Reverse Flash is a little on the nose, but it makes sense. We've talked about that one a little bit, actually, I think, recently. Rough and Tumble as the Condiment Kings is pretty funny. It's two Condiment Kings. Otherwise, there's something about Knuckles, who he's the Superman analog in the crossover, but you were thinking he fit something else?
I think you can make a case for him being Batman.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
The martial artist, the loner, the protector of a very specific locale, gliding around, beating up people, gruff, doesn't really get along with everybody to a degree.
Yeah, I mean, you could make the case for both Knuckles and Shadow to do Batman, but...
Yeah.
I think, Surge would be a better live wire than a Reverse Flash, I think. First of all, the look suits her much better. There's a lot of options, though. There's definitely some fun stuff. Like Lanolin as Constantine. That's a good one. Or Styx as the Question. Oh, no. Let's see. Gemerald as Red Tornado is also a very good suggestion. That makes some sense. That tracks. I was kind of wondering, like, I don't know if Amy Wonder Woman works, or Amy Supergirl. I think they both work, but I don't know. I've always kind of thought about that. But I don't know. Rouge as Power Girl, I guess, makes some sense. But yeah, I think there's some good ideas and suggestions out there. Some stuff we'll never see, but there's lots of fan art of this. This has really brought out a lot of the crossover fan art, and that's been a lot of fun to see. So, yeah. Leave your suggestions down in the comments below. Peacock Queen has a question. Is it possible that Sonic and Tangle will spend a day playing innocent pranks on the members of the Restoration? Like giving Jewel a bouquet of flowers with sneezing powder or putting a whoopee cushion on Surge's chair?
Yes.
Yes.
And they have to keep it between themselves because Maria will think it goes a little too far. And while they disagree, they respect her too much to argue about it.
Oh, Maria's there now. Okay. All right. The Bumble Cannon continues. Serge putting a whoopee cushion. Someone's going to die. She's going to kill somebody after that.
I don't know, man. I can see her sitting down. There's this loud brap, and she looks around and goes, "What?" Oh, wait, that wasn't me?
Well, all right.
That one was perfect and somebody stole my glory? All right, I'm going to kill him.
Well, see, it still result the same result. Serge is so gross. She's great. Purple Rush has a question. If Starline did succeed in kidnapping Tails in issue 36, what would the end result be? Would Kit be more stable? Also, what would he have done with Tails once Kit was ready? Would he have disposed of Tails, used him for bait for Sonic, or something else entirely?
That, I don't know, to be perfectly honest. That was the start of Evan's run, and I don't know if she had any grander thoughts beyond that, because I don't think there ever was any plans for Tails to remain captured, but we've seen what Starline does to people when he has them captive. It would not be good, whatever it was.
Yeah, no, it'd be a bad time. Poor Tails. Get him out of there.
Shoot. Maybe he would have just turned Tails into Kitsunami. Ugh.
Boy, that's terrifying. All right, before we dwell on that one for too long, let's move on to this one from Rabbit Haver. With Halloween being right around the corner, the people must know. How badly would various members of the Sonic cast handle a jump scare-ridden haunted house attraction? Who isn't startled at all, and who put some poor, unfortunate minimum wage employee through the wall?
Knuckles.
Yeah. Knuckles obviously punches somebody through a wall.
And Amy, probably.
Really?
Like, she's having fun at first, and then there's a couple that kind of get her, and then there's going to be one that's just too good, and she just kind of reacts and pop! And she's like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Whereas Knuckles is like, yeah, who's next?
Yeah. Knuckles is punching them all through the wall, eventually.
Yeah. Sonic, we gotta get out of here. The metal virus is kicked up again. Now they're turning into werewolves.
No.
Sonic's having a grand time. He thinks it's hilarious.
What about Silver?
Silver...
How is Silver, like, used to this, or is it traumatic? Like,
because we didn't really have a lot of horrible disfigured mutants in his horrible future, so that's not the joke.
Yeah, apparently he does have a crazy fight or flight response in Sonic Generations, so he might freak out.
Sonic, wait, hit with truck!
Yeah, I think he would freak out.
Never mind putting someone through the wall. He's going to put a wall through someone.
Yeah, he's very jumpy. Yeah, that's true.
Vampire! Entire haunted house just flies off into space.
It's true.
Vector and the crew roll up, not realizing it's a haunted house. All right, boys, let's get to the bottom of this scooperific mystery.
Uh-huh.
Unmasked like 20th person. What is going on with this place? Jamie, stop eating all the Scooby snacks.
Are they even scared?
Vector is, but he's too determined to solve the case.
Okay.
Espio won't admit it. He's just constantly turning invisible to sneak up on the enemy.
To hide, yes.
Jeremy thinks it's hilarious. He's with Sonic. They're sharing Scooby snacks.
There you go.
You know, someone jumps out and scares them like, whoa, good one, Scooby snack. Come on, you're a werewolf. Have one.
Of course. Sonic is Scooby in this scenario. All right, I think that's enough for now. Let's move on to this one from Sam Cybercat. Ian, you've mentioned a couple times you've seen the recent Netflix Scott Pilgrim show. So I have to ask, how surprised were you when Sad AM and Adventure Sub both got referenced in the first episode?
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, that was weird.
That was one kind of fun, but also it's like, I can't escape him.
He's always here. No,
a completely different show, and we're talking about him again. Please leave me alone. Jump scare from Sonic. Ah!
Free me. Sonic jump scare. Sonic is everywhere. He's inescapable. He's more popular than ever. It's terrifying. Scurvy Pirate Dog has a question. In the spirit of Halloween, Tangle falls into the world on the nightmare before Christmas and lands in Halloween Town. What's hijinks ensue?
Oh, she's part of every musical number.
Well, yeah. She leads
it right there with him. This is Halloween. This is Halloween. Halloween. Halloween.
She leads at least one of them.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely besties with Jack Skellington the minute he pops up.
Yeah, she is super down for this.
I mean, she's already got kind of autumnish colors. She's got that Beetlejuice stripy tail that stretches in weird ways. She fits right in.
Oh, yeah.
Oogie Boogie even lets her go because she's grooving along with his song too. And he's like, "Ooh, I like how you handle things."
Yes.
And she's like, "Yeah, let's spin that relay wheel." Oops, I attached a stray string to it and you've been unraveled. Tangle saves the day.
Yay! Christmas is saved. Thank you, Tangle.
She's got her own rendition of what's this, but it's still in Halloween Town.
Yes, good. I like it.
What's this? What's this? There's howling in the air. What's this? What's this? There's spiders everywhere.
Yeah, she's way into it. Question from Soul Slayer 7. If Sonic and Surge were to be transported to a void-like dimension, similar to the Void in the MCU, where all the non-canon and cut characters are sent, like Sally Acorn or Tiara Bobaski, who all would Sonic and Surge encounter as they try to make it back home?
You giving me enough time and budget, everybody.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, pretty much everybody you possibly could get, I think, would just about show up.
Like Road Trip with Sonia Manic and the Sonic 1 band.
Yeah.
Crazy Pineapple World ruled over by Tiara Bobaski. Like, everybody, do everything.
Yeah.
Giant love letter to all the weird and crazy stuff Sonic has done.
Surge steals Scourge's jacket. Yeah. Horizontal and Vertical are there, of course. I mean, it's kind of their dimension, so they have to be there.
Surge just really put out that Sonic now has a red and yellow brother that they're exact same as him. Why is there 3 now?
Yeah, that's so weird. Mammoth Mogul is there. Why? I don't know.
The day is saved by Sister Sonic and the entire Altered Pop Full Male cast.
Yes.
That never got realized.
Yes. Oh, that's good. Oh, it'd be good. Be a good time. All right, let's move on to this one from Spamite. Why is it that in recent Sonic media, characters often call locations by their zone names? For instance, why is it called the chemical plant rather than just a chemical plant? What makes it so unique? How far does this reach? Do we have to call the city in City Escape, well, City Escape?
Depends on the location.
Yeah.
Like, we've seen multiple chemical plants thanks to forces, but it needs to be specified which chemical plant. Zone is not really an in-universe term, it's a game term, so can't really just say Green Hill Zone, it's just Green Hill. City Escape is Westopolis, but it really just depends on the context of the usage and what the location is.
Right. Although I thought City Escape was Central City, but I must be mistaken from that.
I'm pretty sure it's Westopolis,
but you're most likely more right than I am. I'm going to defer to you on this one, Mr. Sonic Man.
If we ever go back there, I'll make sure to double check.
Yes. City Escape is not called City Escape. It's just what you're doing there. You're escaping from the city. It's the name of the song. I believe it is what I'm being told that it is. Should be Westopolis.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah. As of the 2024 annual, it is Westopolis.
Okay. Right. Because Central City is potentially up the highway from that. Anyway.
Central City is in the center. Westopolis is to the west. Spoiler 1001 has a question. Could the Tails doll be a host to Iblis, or is he too flammable?
More like, is Iblis a proper host for Tails doll?
True. Yeah.
Just imagine that, like, one underground boss thing where Iblis is normally this big larval thing, but it's just a gigantic Tails doll surfacing out of the magma. Lunges towards you.
No. Terrifying, but also kind of adorable in a terrifying way. Superior Pizza has a question. We already know how powerful Solaris and the End are, but do you think they could beat Darkon and Galim? Galim and Darkon one-shot everything in Smash in the intro, turning everything into spirits and destroying their physical form. This is the explanation for spirits, and as it turns out, the two destroyed Supersonic, Super Shadow, Infinite, and Mephiles in the games, as they are spirits as well. Who do you think would win in this tag team battle of endgame baddies?
All right, so yeah, they did that, but that was totally like an ambush tactic. They get beat up like by base level Mario and Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
In a fair fight, they ain't got nothing. Nothing, I tell you.
That's right. That's right. They're kind of chumps. And apparently they heard your kitty. They heard Midna.
You gonna be a talkie baby?
Midna. Meow. Meow. Midna's not saying anything now.
Well, no, now she's getting head scritches.
Oh.
You can't meow while you're getting scritches.
Why not?
Because you're getting head scritches.
Oh, okay. All right, Tetsuya the Wise has a Dragoon question.
Hey!
How are interfacial relationships viewed in the world of Dragoon? I think they meant interracial. but it is funny. I had to leave that in there. I had to leave that typo. I'm sorry. Tetsuya. It was too funny.
I'm now calling any kind of deep, passionate kissing interfacial relations.
How are interracial relationships viewed in the world of Dragoon? Are some races more open to it than others? Is it frowned upon by certain cultures? Are there half-breed races?
All right, so we'll go backwards. I'm shying away from the term race. I know that's typically used in fantasy to depict the different humanoids.
Yeah,
but
species.
It's a little bit of a loaded term, but there's species. They're like dedicated, separate species. And in that regard, no, they cannot hybridize. It's a biological thing. It's not really a societal thing. The degree of acceptability is going to range from realm to realm, person to person. Like, some folks will be perfectly cool with it. Others are kind of raising an eyebrow of, why are you going outside of your realm? Is something wrong with your neighbors? Some of it is more difficult than others, like the Narman themselves are an aquatic species. It's kind of hard to have a long-term relationship when everybody else breathes air, or living outside of water causes you to dehydrate and die. It's a hurdle that really dedicated couples would have to overcome. Dwarf are kind of universally seen as acceptable. They just are, and nobody questions it.
All right. Well, there you go. And we got one from the Cyberspace Coco. I've been making my own Mobius map containing locations from almost every Sonic continuity. It's been overwhelming, but fun. When going over pre-reboot Archie's maps, I was reminded of the never-before-seen locations Lethal Radioactive Zone and Land of a Million Lights. They were never visited, but always seen on the world maps. Do you regret never visiting these places before the reboot, or are you happy with leaving them a mystery? What do you imagine these places were like?
Yes and no. It is fun that there's lingering mystery so that, fans can make up whatever they want, and it's perfectly valid. But I do remember first getting on the book and thinking, I want to go everywhere. I want to answer every lingering question. I want to do all the things. And then, getting back to the map when we did the encyclopedia going, oh, crap, we haven't gotten to these places yet. Oh, what are you going to do? What are we going to do? I can't remember where they were. That would impact it to a degree. But I would imagine Lethal Radioactive Zone was the aftermath of something Robotnik did. Some experiment gone wrong, some failed test, some genius idea that was not genius after all. And Land of a Million Lights, I imagined it's something like an area with heavy auroras or some kind of glittering, icy, crystalline region that's always reflecting and refracting every bit of light that comes into it. But I don't think I had anything concrete for those.
Alrighty, let's move on to this one here from Windstar Osprey. Everybody knows about the mandates regarding what clothes Sonic characters can wear. Males can't wear pants, feet must be concealed or not have toes, etc. But what about things like body art, tattoos, tribal markings, body paint, etc.? That
is a very good question. I don't know if there's an actual rule on the books.
I would figure that like tattoos and tribal art and stuff like that might be a no-go just because of like design, like having to draw that sort of thing every time you draw the character.
Yeah, and I know that varying degrees of body modification are not as acceptable within certain cultures, and if it's like an actual tribal thing, I think you need to be respectful of where that's originating from. But beyond that, I don't know. That will be something to actually bring up with the group and say, do we have a standard for this? Should we have a standard for this? What is that standard?
Boom Vector had a tattoo, but, he was... First of all, it was Boom. And second of all, he's a 3D model. It's a lot easier to just throw a texture onto a 3D model and call it good,
Mm-hmm.
It's like having to draw it every time makes it a little bit more difficult. So that might be part of it as well. Here's a question from Watcher. Ian said that trauma takes time to recover and that one may slip during recovery. The Japanese version of 05 shows Shadow decided against reclaiming his entire set of memories during the last story based on narrative structure and dialogue. Shadow saying he never needed to pursue his past to begin with, leaving him with no trauma to have. If he did regain his whole set of memories, what seems to have happened, and when do you think it happened, if not unintentionally, during 05's last story?
Not knowing the Japanese myself, I am inclined to question how literally you're reading into that. And just because Shadow says he's not going to necessarily pursue or be ruled by his memories doesn't mean he just purges them.
Yes.
I don't think he can control A and just move everything to recycle bin.
If it were that easy, there would not be nearly as many people in real life who are suffering from trauma.
And as we said earlier, I think it's still arguable whether or not he does have his full set of memories back, because we do not have access to his entire memory himself. We do not see what he's thinking about 24/7, and he is not one to share what he's thinking with anybody else.
Yeah, no. I mean, I can't even remember what I had yesterday, much less something that happened 30 years ago in some cases. Yeah. All right, here's one from Yav. I'm confused by the 2024 annual with Mimic's motivation. He had what he wanted with the Diamond Cutters, but also hated them. He thought they would betray him and would even hate him. What I don't understand is why. Why did Mimic hate the Diamond Cutters? Why did Mimic think the Diamond Cutters would hate him and betray him? Why did Mimic throw away everything he had striven for? Please help me understand.
This is better directed at Gigi, who wrote that particular story. But
yeah,
my takeaway from it is that Mimic is a sick individual. He cannot be happy because he overanalyzes everything. The faults and shortcomings he sees in his own self, he projects upon everyone else. So because he is a helpful, hateful, duplicitous individual, he assumes everyone else is likewise hateful and duplicitous.
Yes.
And that if you are getting along with them, if they are being nice to you and you are getting along and everything seems fine, it's because they're lying to you, because that's what he would do. Yeah. He's a bad person that assumes the worst out of everybody.
Yeah, he's not a good person. He's a terrible, terrible person, and he hates himself, and he hates that people like him. So I guess he thought they needed to die because of that. What a horrible person he is. Terrible. Also rude. And Zonic Heroes has a question. Was Zonic ever intended to have super speed? If this was undecided, what would have been decided if it was up to you?
I can't remember now.
I don't remember him ever shown using it, if he did, but...
I feel like I remember one panel where it was him in the background of a larger shot, but I could be misremembering.
Yeah, and that could also just be an artist doing something. Not necessarily in the script or anything.
And while from what I remember, Night of 1,000 Sonics, all of them had the little whirly legs.
Yeah.
I think it stands to reason that in the infinite possibilities of the multiverse, you would have one that isn't super fast, necessarily.
Mm-hmm.
Just off the top of my head, though, I think it would be fun if Zonic, who was so by the books and straight-laced and reserved compared to regular Sonic, doesn't show off that speed, but then in some kind of dire circumstance, he just lets it all out and hits Mach 1 and really gets into the Sonic groove. And Sonic's just like, I didn't know you had it in you. And Sonic's, styling his quilt back into place so his helmet fits. And we're all Sonics deep down. Don't look so surprised.
Yep. And finally, we've got some Shadow Generation spoilers on deck. They're pretty mild, but if you want to skip this last question, feel free to. It's from L the Letter. In the opening cutscene for Shadow Generations, Shadow claims he is on the Ark because Gunn told him there was a biosignature. However, in Dark Beginnings, the only reason Shadow goes to the Ark is because of his visions. Did Shadow receive the news from Gunn after the end of Dark Beginnings?
Like, go back and see, Shadow's been on the Ark for a full hour, and Roosh is going, "Where are you? I told you, I got you the rocket ship. You have to be here for the birthday party." He's like, "I'm still looking. Gunn found a biosignature. I'm still looking."
Oh, okay, so he's lying.
No. I can't imagine, like, post-launch, and Abe taps into the radio and is like, "So, couldn't just ask for a shuttle, Shadow? I'm busy. What do you want?" "Well, because Rouge told us about this thing on the Ark, we did a scan. And yes, you're right. There is a biosignature up there." "Great. I'm already here. Thanks for confirming nothing. You are such a..."
Well, you know, it's true. All those tax dollars wasted just because of Angst Hedgehog. Passive aggressive Abe is funny. Yes.
Maybe Abe really just needed a good excuse not to just fire a missile at the Ark at that point. "No, Mr. President, we detected a biosignature. Trust me." "Sir, isn't the biosignature Shadow?" "Shut up."
Don't say that. How dare you. Anyway, that's all we got for this episode of the BumbleKast.
Thank you to everyone who supports the show via patreon.com/BumbleKast, Ko-fi.com/BumbleKast, or by being a YouTube member. Be good to yourselves. Be good to each other. Try not to bite each other too much. Check your candy. And have a happy Halloween.
The spooky time. See you next time.
Tails, buddy, cancel the orbital bombardment of banana cream pies. Maria says it's a bit too much.
Aw.
Well, it'd be funny, but I respect her too much to argue.
Yeah. Sonic could be like, "Look at it this way, buddy. You got a lot of banana cream pies."
He says, "Think of it this way, buddy. She didn't say anything about Knuckles."
Yeah. Knuckles is always there.
Knuckles just stalking across the island covered in banana filling. "Amy, where's Sonic?" And she doesn't even ask. She's like, "Son, go that way." And he goes in the wrong direction because she loves him and she's not going to tell him where to find him.
Oh, man. Darn.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Good God.
Uh-oh, what happened?
I'm getting ready to go to bed.
Okay.
And in our kitchen, we have a track light with 3 swivel lights on it.
Okay. Did it
And
start leaking again?
No.
Okay.
I swivel one around sometimes so it's easier to see what's going on in the sink island, and then swivel it back around to see what's going on around the stove. And so I went to swivel it back around, and the whole thing fell out of the ceiling.
Oh, shit.
Because all they did was screw directly into the drywall.
Oh, shit.
So, and this was like at 2 a.m, so I'm like, no, I'm going to bed. Prop it up on the cabinet doors, because it's still wired. Deal with it later. So,
yeah.
The superintendent came like first thing in the morning, got some brackets, put it back in, no problem.
Yeah. Is this the replacement light, right?
Yeah.
You're really having a hell of a time with that freaking light. You've been listening to the BumbleKast, a co-production of Bumble King Comics and the KNGI Network. Original theme music composed by Ken Coda Snyder. Remixed intro by T-Lopes. Find out more information, along with podcast feeder links, MP3 downloads, and more at bumbleking.com and kngi.org.
Monday, I'm diving back into all the work that piled up while I was away.
Yeah.
And as I'm going through it, I get this phone call, and it's like, "Hi, we're from the CRA, the IRS equivalent.
Oh,
we need to talk to you about your personal taxes." I'm like,
Oh.
"Yeah, buddy, sure you are.
Oh, no.
What's your ID number?" "Uh-huh. All right, sure. Yeah, what's your callback number?" "I'll get right on that." Oh, wait, no, it was legit.
Oh, no.
And also, I dropped my phone and now it doesn't like to make outgoing calls sometimes. So finally get the phone to work, call CRA this morning and say, hi, what do you want? Oh, just a friendly reminder that we recommend that you do quarterly installment payments ahead of the tax season. Okay. Thank you.
Thanks.
You already emailed me twice about it. I can't.
Thanks. All that stress just to be told, hey, you could pay us money.
You can only squeeze so much blood from this big ripe turnip.
Oh, man.
That's been my past 48 hours.
Ian confirmed for big ripe turnip.
Yeah. All right. Bulbous white thing, kind of hairy, prefers to stay in the dark. Yeah, that's me.
Ian's tax
incredibly
fraud.
Bitter.
Ian's tax fraud arc. Oh no.
Welcome to the Bumble Audit. I am entirely screwed, Ian Flynn, the Bumble Felon.